this is the other thing that I remember. In second grade, she had an absolute favorite teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Hardy.
Miss Hardy.
And she was so kind. But she used to say, Sammy used to do the Sammy shuffle. And so when Miss Hardy used to ask a question, Sammy was always really enthusiastic to participate, right? And so she would raise her hand in hopes to answer a question. And so she would do this. And so Miss Hardy used to say she used to call on Sammy, but when she called on Sammy, Sammy wasn't sure what to respond. So, and so she would go like this back down. Anyways, so we started working on things back in, what do you think it was, first grade or kindergarten?
Yeah.
And so we used to drive down to Palo Alto to do neurofeedback, which was quite a haul. Things were cruising, right? And then we got to junior high, and junior high is tough.
Yeah. Well, starting in kind of like the end of 5th grade, it was tough. And then junior high, it got really, really difficult. 6th grade was like, so far it was like harder than this year, because I'd say at the beginning of 6th grade, it was like really hard. Everything was just hard in terms of schoolwork. I was getting a lot of homework, and I started to get really stressed out about my homework. And it would be days where I would be like staying up until like 10 or 11, and I would be going to bed at like 9 in 6th grade. But there'd be days I would be staying up really late to get done my homework, and it was just really difficult. And I had like social issues too with my friends and stuff, and I was taking things really hard when they were just meant to be jokes, and I was taking a lot of stuff really difficultly.
I would go pick you up at school, and I would kind of hold my breath, because some days you would get in the car, and either it was socially or with the amount of work that you had or the studying that you had to do, that you would feel overwhelmed.
Tests were definitely
a
big part of my stress.
Studying, preparing note cards or preparing a presentation or whatever it was, and you would get in the car and feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I remember always saying, like, there's nothing we can't get through, Sammy. Like, we always do everything together. Like, I'll always help you. We'll never, it'll never be too much. We'll always get through it. But you would get home and melt, and you would be so overwhelmed that we couldn't get through the homework.
It would probably, the upsetness, like the crying and the hardship would definitely take up like a few hours in my homework. Like, I could have already been done with like 1 or 2 things with the amount of times I cried.
Right.
And was upset.
Right.
Because I just stressed too much over the little I had.
Right. And so then we're like, maybe we should do neurofeedback and have some booster sessions.
Yeah, I started back up on that.
You started back up on neurofeedback, this time from home, so we didn't have to drive all the way to Palo Alto. Bonus. So anyways, we started back up on neurofeedback, and what I can say and what I can remember is the gains that you made were so much faster, because it felt like your brain already knew what to do because you had done it before.
And my mom said, like, neurofeedback is like a magic wand. If you, if you're upset and you just want like a little bit of magic to make you happier, you can just flick the magic wand and you'll be happier. And I definitely agree that neurofeedback is just like that. I mean, it was like, I feel like I was coming home every day a little bit like happier and a little bit less stressed. I'd be like, okay, Mom, I have a little bit of homework. I have 4 or 5 things, but it's not that much, so let's get to it. So I would get inside, and I was doing my homework, and I would be studying. By the time dinner was ready, I would be almost done with my homework, which is really good.
So you came home with a math test last week.
I didn't even study, and I got 100% because I pay attention in school so much better.
You're not forgetting to turn things in. You're staying organized. Your locker's really organized.
Yeah.
You just cleaned out all your drawers in your room this morning just because. It's a big change. We're really proud of you. You've worked really hard.
I've always been someone that people can trust.
That's true. Sammy had a super sweet teacher last year.
He was the best. I miss him so much.
And he was from China. And he was our math teacher. And he did not know that we were doing neurofeedback.
Yeah,
right?
no idea.
No idea. So one day, So we're pulling up through the drop-off line because at school, the parents can drop off through the drop-off line and let the kids out. And there's always a faculty member opening the doors and making sure that traffic's flowing. And so we were going through the drop-off line and Sammi gets out of the car and it's this math teacher. And he says to me, he stops me and he says, I have to tell you, the beginning of the year, Sammy's so distracted.
She cried.
She cried, you do. She cried a lot. So
much she got tests, no test. But now she's doing good.
yeah, and
Now
she
she's better. She cares. She cares so much.
But now she's not crying, and she's focused. She's paying attention. So focused, paying attention so well. Your teachers really say.
I think they can tell that I care about my work.
They can tell you care about your work, but you're using your time in school.
Yeah,
So
I'm
the
not like
other-
a lot of people are always just kind of talking and just chatting a lot, and I'm just like on my work, focused on my work. Like, okay, I need to get this done. I don't want to have to do all this at home. It's gonna take me so long, so I just do it. I get it done in school. I mean, it's like it doesn't really feel like neurofeedback. It doesn't feel like something you have to do. I mean, it's something I just open my computer. It feels like I'm just opening my computer and watching Netflix. Like, I mean, it's not something I have to do. It's just, I mean,
You don't mind it.
yeah, I don't mind it at all. It's like just watching TV.
Neurofeedback, we're getting at what's really going on from such a deeper level. All those things that are contributing to the school difficulties, like the attention and the organization and the motivation, versus just band-aiding it with getting through homework and learning the next math concept. This is literally the first test I have never helped her study for. She aced it, and she literally said for the first time, I love math. And I was telling her math teacher that. She said, I love math.
Yeah, I said, I mean, I really like math. I like everything. I kind of like school now. I mean, it makes me feel really good about myself. It makes me feel super independent. It just definitely makes me feel good about myself. And it makes me feel like I really just accomplished something like, wow, I just did that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely really proud of myself